But let's start by unpacking our title, Resolve to Evolve. So we're going to talk about how things have evolved, especially in digital, right? Digital evolves much faster than traditional advertising and marketing. And in fact, let's go to the word marketing in our title. A lot of times people use the words marketing and advertising interchangeably, but they're really not. I like to make the analogy of Netflix. Netflix drove Blockbuster out of business, right? Blockbuster was this amazing company, and yet Netflix drove them out of business. But it wasn't because they had the best ads or even the best website. It was because they had the best strategy. So that's the difference between marketing and advertising is strategy. So we're going to talk a lot today about strategy. And then we're going to give you a 7-point checklist so you can compare how you think your firm's doing to the principles we talk about today. All right, I do believe in marketing, so let me take just a few seconds to talk about Firmidable before I get started. All we do is work with law firms all over the country. We're in our 28th year. And you know, when you specialize in something, it gives you an opportunity to see patterns. And with those patterns, you get to see when they're all the same, you learn from that. But also when every now and then there's a variation, you learn from that. That's what makes an expert. You don't want the brain surgeon who only does a few a year. You want him who does them over and over. So you see the nuances in the work that you're doing. And that's the kind of ideas and principles we're going to present to you today. So let's start with that checklist. Resolve to evolve your firm marketing, a 7-point checklist. Number 1, do you have a foundation that's built on written goals? Number 2, do you have a UX that stands for user experience? Is your UX client centric? Have you planned the journey to conversion? We're going to talk about what that means too. Are you mobile first? We certainly hear a lot about mobile these days. What's the latest? Is your total digital default strategy just get a website? You have other options these days. If you're using social media, and by this, I don't mean necessarily posts like your law firm barbecue, but are you using social media for ads? And if you so, are you using them in the right way to really get you some leads and cases? And then finally, is your overall marketing strategy multi-channel? And by that, I don't mean cable. So we'll talk about that too.